Good Saturday morning, Looney Tunes fans, young and old, silly and serious. It is I, Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes critic. It's Saturday morning, and me and my buddy Sean, we're doing what we've always done. Despite where we are in our lives now professionally, we're sitting around, we're watching cartoons and enjoying them. And Sean picked this one.
I did, and I'm very excited. I figured you'd have gotten to this one already by now.
I'm sure, I'll have to check, but I'm more than sure that several people have requested this one, and I just haven't gotten to it yet.
You're welcome, people.
Yeah, it's a wonderful cartoon. And this is all Robert McKimson's animation.
And right from the top, let's throw out the trivia that this is the only Bugs Bunny cartoon that does not feature Bugs Bunny in his normal form.
Which Warner Brothers hates now, by the way. And it started a decree in the 50s and on where the characters, if you find, actually I have to say after the 70s, but if you find the characters in a state that is not like, they don't make them old, it's very, very rare. And I don't know what their problem with that is, actually.
The far future of 1990.
I've used that piece of footage many times in videos because the 90s were many people consider the Silver Age. If this is the Golden Age, that was the Silver Age.
But 1950 was the future also.
And that's a reference to a song. Carl Stalling said it will never work. I like that in the future, people have to consult Carl Stalling.
Well, yeah. Pretty sure all these people were dead by 1990. I think Bing was dead. Carl Stalling.
Yeah, definitely. Carl Stalling was dead before 1970, I think, 1960. Now, this I have a question about. I wonder if Warner Brothers has changed its stance many times on Elmer's gun usage, and they did things for a while where if it wasn't a traditional rifle or things like that, he could get away with it. So I don't know if I was hearing something about using an Elmer from Old Gray Hare in Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, but I don't know how true it is because the whole gun thing is like, what if they use this gun? It's not bullets.
It's a ray gun.
Yeah.
It goes back to like the G.I. Joe thing. They all shot lasers because it was less violent.
Yeah. And he just melts. Yeah, that's right. Bugs never appears as Bugs. He's old and he's young.
Yep.
And there's a very confused subset of social media that legitimately believes that this cartoon spawned baby Looney Tunes. I assure you that is not the case.
There are a lot of real dumb fans.
Oh, yes.
I'm on record saying that.
You as well.
A lot of real dumb Looney Tunes fans.
It takes one to know one, actually.
I mean, there was someone commenting on the YouTubes that I think it was one of the Ben Washam clips they said was animated by John Cristofalusi. People.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But you know what? Matt Hunter told me, and I don't know how true this is, but it would speak to that there was a concerted effort for a while at Warner Brothers to, to make it appear, it's like, it's okay that people know these cartoons were made, a while ago, but to not reveal the actual dates of how long ago it was. And that would account for that because in some people's mind, it's like, well, Ren and Stimpy was forever ago and these were forever ago. Why wouldn't John Cristofalusi have worked on it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember finding out that these cartoons were all made in the 40s and 50s and being like gobsmacked. I was like, What? These weren't made when I was 8?
Yeah. And
this is the only cartoon I can think of that actually like calls out a date, really. I mean, other ones you can suppose because of the context of like the wartime cartoons that they're in the 40s, but for the most part, they are truly timeless. This is the only one that calls out 1950s in the future.
Right. I don't know how I'm sure there's like dates and things like on newspapers and stuff, but yeah, there's a very timeless approach, to these cartoons too, where it could be anywhere USA, anytime USA, and a lot of these.
But also not as timeless as we once thought. I remember when we were teenagers, we would talk about how super timeless these were and, criticize other things for having pop culture references. And we just didn't get a lot of the pop culture references that were in these.
Yeah, and it's as you say, growing up and becoming, film nuts and things like that, you'll be watching a movie and all of a sudden somebody says something and you're like, where have I heard that? Oh, that's right. That was in that cartoon. Oh, that's that person from this. And it's like him saying that. You ain't just whistling Dixie. We didn't know that was a song. We didn't know that was an expression.
Or in the Gremlins cartoon, it ain't Vendel Valky.
Yeah.
He was a vice presidential candidate.
Yeah, and that whole thing about, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? Like, there's two different levels of pop culture going on just with that one gag because of the way they're drawing him versus what he's saying. It's just...
Even Bugs Bunny's catchphrase, of course this means war. That's Groucho Marx.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Bugs' catchphrase. That's Groucho's catchphrase.
And they literally hijacked it. Well, I guess it wasn't his catchphrase so much as a line he said in a movie. But it became...
I feel like he said it a lot, though.
My understanding is he only said it in that one movie. But I could be wrong. All right,
I could be wrong.
Yeah, we could both be wrong. You hear that?
One of us is right.
You hear that, Internet Looney Tunes fans? You can just say, I might be wrong. It's okay to sometimes be wrong.
And to admit to it. Like, if you can't admit that you're wrong, then you're just messing everything up.
Now, how great is this gag?
I love this shot, actually.
Yeah, that angle. But how great is it that they carry out the explosion over the title at the end? I remember in some syndicated versions of this cartoon, they lost the end title, so it would just like you'd hear it hiss, and then it would cut to a different colorings. Here it comes. That's brilliant.